That would be
That would be great.
All right. Shit. Look, I don't want to talk to you guys unless we're recording. Okay, press that fucking button, right?
Yeah, sorry guys. I guess I should actually turn the record button on.
We recorded like 8 episodes before this one, and none of them because John hadn't hit record.
Yeah, they're all gone.
I like to be all on the microphone. All right, there we go.
My goodness. It's a hot, hot summer day, and it is 1d6 of the Geek Savants. I'm Dave DeWanch.
My balls is sweaty, and I'm super ugly.
Sweaty Grant.
Ryan Roberts.
Ron Zorb.
I like that Grant just took what John did.
I know.
He's
a real.
Too.
You could be like my youngest. Whenever the oldest talks, the youngest always says, "And me."
I'm also sweaty. All right. So, you want to get into the meat, boys?
Yeah, I love meat.
The speed.
All right. Let's
take some speed.
Yeah. All right. So, this week's main topic was brought to us by, who is the guilty party of this one? Ron.
That was me, yeah.
This is the Zorb again.
This is the Zorb. So Ron keeps popping up with weird ideas, and we just go with it. So there you go. I like it. So Ron asked us, what was your? Did you say we should rank these, or what was your thing? You wanted us to pick who the fastest, who our favorite fast heroes were?
Just characters.
Fast characters.
Yeah, just the fastest characters that we could come up with. There's something I think I watched that was talking about Flash. So I was like, oh, there's other characters in Flash. Why don't we do an episode just about fast comic book or movie characters, anything that we could come up with?
On the back of Ron's trading card, it says, Ron loves fast men, but he...
That's right. He loves giant women and fast men.
Yep. We decided to go with giant women.
We decided to go with runners.
Runners, yes.
Not flyer, because we didn't want to do a like Superman versus Flash type of deal.
Right. Yeah, so the Grant-gotiations... Were there anyone for... Oh, Grant should go into his Grant-gotiations. What's the one item that you told us that we couldn't do, Grant?
So everybody would pick Wally West, I feel. And he's the bar which is set for all speedsters.
Can I ask a question? Because I don't think it showed up on anyone's list. Would anyone have picked Barry Allen ever? No.
What? But is he technically... the fastest?
I mean, here's the thing. To me, I didn't pick my characters because they were the fastest. I picked my characters because they were my favorites.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know it was a race to the finish line. I just wanted to throw some fucking cool characters in there. So, like, was that a part of your rule, Grant? Were we supposed to be picking the fastest characters? Or
no.
At all? No,
just so Wally's the most popular. Maybe not your favorite or my favorite, but he's definitely the most popular, and he's been talked about the most. He's had the most shows and characters, and he's been the Flash for the longest. And
the longest, Grant?
Yeah, I think he's been the Flash the longest.
Who?
Wally.
What?
No, Barry.
Are you discounting like the 60s and 70s and half of the 80s?
50s? I mean, like, wasn't
Barry?
No, okay. So technically, I think Barry probably would because he's concurrent. But I'm talking about like in his own.
I think you're
incarnation.
Whatever. You're concurrent.
I think that you're. What did you call this, Ron? The Grant-gotiations. Grant-gotiations. I think that you've talked yourself into a corner here, Grant.
I agree. I agree that I think Brian, me, Grant, and Dave, I don't know, Ron, of course, would pick some fucking sandwich as his fastest thing, but I don't know, a muffaletta? No, but I think all four of us would have like fought over Wally West because we 100%. There's no question that he's my favorite of all the speedsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that, but and that might actually have a lot to do with our ages, guys. I think that was just our Flash more than anything. And there were a lot of great stories with him. I mean, all the John shit, all the Mark Waid stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That is like the best Flash stuff you'll ever read, I think. But I was just bored of Barry Allen. Barry Allen was always just the most boring fucking character, even more boring than Hal Jordan, who I thought was boring.
Yeah.
So
All right, so you guys picked out. We basically flipped it up a little bit this time. Instead of just saying, "Hey, we're going to list off our 10 picks," you guys gave me your 10 picks. I entered them into my special computer. Here we go. That's my special computer right there. You see me? Yeah.
Mm.
I'm entering it in multiple times. That's why this is happening. Yeah. See, and then I was like,
yeah,
okay, I'm going to enter that.
10 times.
Uh-huh,
Maybe
and
this is
then
what
that.
happened to Grant.
That's one of my gifts.
Doesn't stop sending.
So I picked out a list of like what I thought was the slowest to fastest. So we'll start with the slowest one and then work our way up to what I thought was the fastest. As you saw, I did it scientifically using a computer. There is no kind of like, you cannot question my my list here because it's all scientific. Okay.
I just wrote down the girl with all the gifts.
Girls.
It's a great name for something.
All right, so this one is the slowest out of the bunch. Okay, this is A Train. This is Grant's pick from The Boys on Hulu, I believe, right?
It's
Amazon.
Amazon. Sorry. Yes. All right, Grant, you picked A Train. Why?
So the reason why I picked A Train is because it's the very first introduction that you get to a super in the show, and it's him running past just down the street, and he goes so fast, so close to this girl, he just explodes her. And it's very like realistic of what I think would probably happen in the real world. And seeing that was like, whoa, that's fucking awesome. That they would even do that.
Girl explode was awesome.
It was awesome and bloody. It's very shocking, but it's real, you know, and I really like that.
I had to discount him, Grant, and the reason I discounted him, I'm sorry, the computer discounted him, was because he takes like formula, right? Doesn't he have to like inject? He injects if he's on drugs or something like that, right?
So during the show, he felt like he was going slow, and so he supplemented. But he didn't need it to go fast.
Okay. Well, no drug users on this fucking list. Okay.
Right.
Oh wait,
damn it.
except for Dave's. But Dave
You're gonna
has.
discount mine. Damn it.
Damn it! All right, it
would
wasn't
agree.
me.
He is.
I
Probably
do love
slowest.
the Boys. I love the idea of look. That's a show where the concept is super fucking strong, and the execution of that show is just as strong as the concept, which is very rare, right? I mean, like I love that series. You guys have seen the trailer for season 2, right?
Oh, of course.
Oh, I cannot wait. It's so fucking great.
Okay, so then next, let me just double check the computer. Yeah, next on our list, I probably could have had this guy go before A Train, but
Slower.
maybe yeah. I picked Blur. The only reason I picked A Train first is because of the drug supplements, and say no to drugs, kids. But I picked Blur from DP7, Double Penetration 7. We know that's one of my favorite comic books. And what I really liked about Blur, he was one of the first fasties, as we'll call them. I don't know if they have another word. Some call them speedsters.
That's the technical term.
Yeah. Some call them speedsters. I call them fasties. So out of the fasties, he was one of the first.
That's what your wife calls you, by the way. She's like, oh, another.
No joke. One of my picks was going to be my time in bed because honestly, like at this point, I am accessing the Speed Force and jumping right from the beginning to the end in a matter of seconds. I swear.
When John comes quickly, he launches himself backwards in time.
Oh my god! No. It's one of those things where I'll like start and then I'll be like, "Ooh, this feels good," and then immediately I vault myself into the future to where I'm finally finishing, and I'm like, "Wow, that was quick! Good job!" Well, thanks, Kel, for that. I'm so glad I could not pleasure you. Anyway, so this character Blur, this book was all about like regular humans getting like kind of turning into superheroes. And what I really enjoyed about this one was that he was one of the first fasties that was like had these blur lines on him. Okay, so that he was always constantly vibrating. And another thing that really was cool about him is they really made a point to hammer home that he had to always like eat, or else he got super weak, and he actually like started like, what did he slow down? What was it? It would hurt him.
You would pass out.
Right. And so he was one of the first ones that I saw, and they kind of eventually brought this into Flash and all this kind of stuff, but just a guy that had to eat constantly, and he was always blurry like this. Where I think that like the Kingdom Come Flash was also in a sense this way too. He was always kind of blurry.
Yeah.
Did DP7 come out before Wally West?
Around this, it's 85.
85, 86.
So it's probably in the same zone.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I know that they also did it like Wally started getting into that whole thing too, where he was constantly having to like replenish his energy.
Yeah.
All right, so let me real quick.
How fast do you think Blur was?
Faster than that shitty police car. That's for sure.
Do they ever rate it? You didn't look it up, did you?
I didn't, I felt bad. I didn't look it up. I'm sure that if I was to go with the one that Gary Frank just did, or not Gary, just did, but Supreme Power, I think that guy was much faster than the one that's in the original DP7. I think he's like he's more closer to like a A-Train kind of.
Wait, are you telling me that the characters from DP7 are in Supreme Power?
But they did make another DP7 version of it. I saw him on in some Marvel wiki. So
he was in something.
He wasn't in Supreme Power, and then I'm not that. But they have brought some of the DP7 characters into Marvel continuity.
Okay. I was always wondering why they didn't bring all of the new universe into the Marvel continuity, because it just feels like another multiverse thing that you could just put them together.
Are. Yeah. They just haven't used them.
Yeah, okay. Starbrand, Night Mask, they're all kind of technically in there. They just don't. Only Starbrand is the one that's like kind of being used right now.
Okay.
Okay, so our next one is another heavy. This one I want to really discuss like with Dave why he would pick something like this, but he picked a speed demon. And what I want to know, Dave, is do you like abusing wives?
No. But I think that what I liked about this Flash series, and I knew it was my workaround. If I couldn't pick Wally, I would pick someone from the fucking series early on, because I liked the idea of a dude that was researching super speed, and he got addicted to fucking, a experimental steroid, and got it roided out. He was just like seriously like 1987 roid rage. But I liked that it took a toll on his body. I liked that he was a fucked up, broken character. And at that point, so was Wally. Wally was like a gambling addict that was in debt, that fucking lived with his mom and was famous for being the Flash, but, and then started like using that to make money. And then you got this guy, he like Wally falls in love with Tina McGee, who is like this dude's research partner and wife, or, estranged wife. And then this guy just goes on a fucking rampage. I just liked it because it was it felt more real, I think, than most speedster things. Like, when you get into the Speed Force and shit like that, you're like, wow, that's just some bullshit, like this felt more realistic to me. And I just dug those issues that he was in. And then like he shows up later when he and Tina get back together, and he's this like remorseful, broken ass dude. I don't know. I just like that character. I like the arc that he had.
I thought what was really interesting about this run was right here they introduce Speed Demon, and he kind of doesn't he kind of disintegrate kind of in a sense, like he kind of like his body breaks down or something.
His body breaks down,
right?
Yeah.
But then right after this, like issue, like I don't know if it's either right before this, right after this, they introduce those Russian speedsters.
Yep.
And it's 3 of them, and they had like
Velocity 9, I think is what they're called.
And they had the one in there that was very similar to Speed Demon in his shape. He kind of looked more of like a lumbering, kind of a gorilla,
hunched over, like kind of like
I kind of like that. The way they kind of did these, like kind of like their bodies were really freakish. It wasn't just like a Barry Allen or a Wally West body. It was somebody who looked like they were like almost being ripped apart by the like fastness of them.
Yeah, I think that like there are people that can access the Speed Force and sometimes that makes them crazy or whatever. But like if you can harness it, you're like a natural speedster, like Wally or Barry. And then like there are these people are like doing drugs, like an A-Train. I mean, maybe not A-Train. I don't really know what the origin of A-Train is, but you know what I mean. Like there's that combination of drugs that allows you to access it, but it's not natural, and that's what it fucks up their bodies.
What I liked about A-Train, I thought was a really good wrinkle of his origin story, was that he replaced the first speedster. Like the first speedster was like lost a step, and then next thing you know, A-Train just basically took over because he was faster one.
Like yearly race, right?
Or no, well, that was the race was when the new up and coming guy was like wanted to challenge A-Train the way A-Train challenged the previous guy.
Right.
And so that's why A-Train ended up taking the juice. But yeah, I mean, it's an interesting wrinkle to be like, as soon as one of these guys loses a step, the next speedster, the next fastie, if you will, is going to come along and like take their place, which I think is really cool.
Right.
All right. So I also wanted to talk about, so Dave picked Speed Demon, but we did need to quickly just touch upon, there are 3, as far as I could tell, there probably might be more, but 3 Speed Demons. So when he first mentioned it, I thought he had picked this Speed Demon, which was the Spider-Man villain Speed Demon.
I love that suit.
This is actually one of my favorite, like, of all the fasties, this is probably like one of my favorite designs of any of the characters.
Yeah, I'm going to go with my guy being named Speed McGee, by the way, which is what he was called before.
Really?
Speed Demon. Yeah.
Really? Speed McGee.
Good old DC.
Yeah. And then this is also Speed Demon. Okay. This is
comics, right?
Ghost Rider mixed with Flash.
That sounds like an awful idea. Like that could kill you so quickly.
That's weird.
Yeah. I hated those amalgam comics. Did anybody like any of those?
I liked the one that was like Batman and Wolverine mixed together, and it was like the animated series. I thought that was cool, but only because it looked cool, not because it was cool.
I don't like my peanut butter in my chocolate.
Yeah. What? No. We love Reese's. Shut up.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Shut your mouth.
I don't like my comics.
I'm telling you don't like Reese's. Are you fucking kidding with me right now?
No, I like Reese's. I don't like my comics mixed up.
This fool is about to get the mute.
Oh my God. I would just say, ditch this motherfucker.
Ron, it's like think about it, amalgam mixed Batman and Wolverine, your face.
Ron just exploded.
I know.
I need to find all those comics and burn them.
Yeah.
Get them out of existence.
Let's put the 2 most played out fucking characters in the universe together. All right. Okay, so then let's see. I'm sorry, I gotta get to my technicalities here. The next one on my list. Okay, this one, I apologize for having it on the list at this level, but I don't know shit about it, so I had to put it here. So, Brian, what the fuck is this?
So it's a character from a video game called Infamous. She actually had a smaller spin-off, which is, I guess, more important for the character herself. She basically has a power called Neon, but it allowed her to zip around very quickly. So, I mean, the big appeal of this is it was basically an opportunity to play the game as like the Flash. So you could actually zip around Seattle because it's supposed to be based in Seattle, and just run around the city, jump super far. But she did have other power. I mean, it's a video game, so you can't just make it running. Otherwise, you probably get bored pretty quickly.
How was it controlling
that Flash?
Take that, you punk bitch. How is it controlling? So that's the thing is I would say she would rank lower, and that's just by the fact that if it ran as fast as the Flash, you would just run into buildings the whole time. So you just can't do that. So in that sense, she was easy to control. In that sense.
Are you happy with her ranking? Is her ranking where it should be?
She'd probably be near the bottom, I would say.
All right.
Yeah, she's fast, but she's not like, creating sonic booms.
Does she actually run? Is she running?
She does.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think what it is, she kind of becomes like, I don't know, they called it Neon. They called the power Neon. She could also shoot shit out of her fists, and she could float. Like if she jumped really high, you
I
could
call
float
that power
down.
shit fist, by the way.
Yeah, well, Dave.
She fists so hard.
Hey,
But
Grant,
it was supposed to be like a flash power. I mean, that was like the intention. Is like
what's the plot of the game, and then what is the plot of the spinoff? And is she the main character in the spinoff? Or?
She's the main character of the spin, and I think of that's because in the main game, it's a character that his power was that he could take other people's powers. So he could which of course, I mean, it works for a game, right? Like you want to kind of get more power. So he meets this character and then he's able to absorb her power, and then he then has that power. Well, that power basically was kind of the most fun power that he ended up getting. So I think they developed this kind of spin-off of the character to just kind of go further. Like this was kind of the part that I think that people enjoyed the most. So they made a shorter, smaller game.
What's the other game called?
That one's called Infamous Second Son. That's the main title, and then this one's Infamous First Light is the one that she was in.
Okay.
It's just like a world where there's superpowers got developed, and then there's a government that tries to control it. She was one of the first ones in, and then she kind of breaks out, and then that it's not deep, but it's a lot of fun to control the character. That's for sure. So, but it was really interesting.
All right. Our next one on our list is, now that I knew that Infamous should have been way lower, but no, our next one is
Oh, nice.
Sonic
the Hedgehog. So this one's mine, of course. I used
This one's mine, of course, says Ron.
So I used to play the game with my nephew a lot. So he was really into it. I used to always have to battle Robotnik for him while he would do all the running around and all the level stuff. But yes, Sonic is a fast guy in his normal form. He's running at Sonic speeds, so you can do his Sonic Boom. I don't know if you would call this performance enhancing drugs, but he's able to get add-ons like light speed shoes, which will get him up to light speed. He can get the Chaos Emeralds and some rings.
He also injects himself with a fluid at the beginning of every game.
But yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog. I don't know what else to say around it.
Did anyone see the movie?
Yes.
No.
How fuck awful was it?
It
was all right.
It was a Sonic the Hedgehog movie. How's that?
It could have been worse, I guess.
There you go.
Yeah, it could have been fucking Super Mario Brothers or something.
Yes.
It was no Pikachu movie.
It could have been. You know what was a real?
I would say it's at level of the Pikachu movie.
Yeah. Like if you were gonna say if Pikachu was really funny because it was Ryan Reynolds, then Jim Carrey was funny as Dr. Robotnik, and that was about it. The rest of it was just kind of pretty standard fare. Yeah. I want which one we could also remember that movie Turbo about the snail that was really fast.
Oh yeah.
God, that movie fucking sucked. That was one of the worst cartoons I'd ever watched in the movie theater.
It was awful.
And I was like, oh my God, get me the fuck out of here.
But
all right, so I put Sonic Ronic. I put him fifth. Now because I put him fifth based on the video game version of him. Okay, because if we're talking the movie version, then he is much probably faster than a lot of these. But in the video game, I feel like he does not hit incredible speeds in the video game.
Well, the only way he does is if with the add-ons and stuff. So Sonic himself is maybe the speed of sound, maybe a couple times the speed of sound, but it's not going speed of light type of stuff that
Ron,
and all these others do. Yes.
Does playing the game when you get as many add-ons and speed injections as you could possibly get, does it get to the point where it's almost uncontrollable? You just basically are full bore as long as you can, and then he will die because you can't control him. Does it get like that?
I don't know if it gets that crazy. I've only played the old Sonic from Sega, this version. He's not that fast in this game. Right, okay. He just kind of speeds along.
He does have something that none of our other fasties have, and that is that he can literally turn himself into a ball pretty much and roll. So that's one thing that the other ones can, and that does give him some assistance, especially going around loopy-de-loops.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. No, I like Sonic. Sonic was the only non-Nintendo game that I really wanted to like get invested in.
Mhm.
I hated all the other non-Nintendo games. All right, and then next on our list, we have, let's see here. Oh, it's one of mine. Let's see. I got to go find him real quick here. Where is he at? Nope. Yep. Did I not grab his picture? I probably didn't. Good. Look at me not grabbing his picture. I'll just tell you what it is because I'm an idiot.
Well, John had like one job and he couldn't do the ones for himself.
Hold on. You guys just give me 2
Access
seconds.
your supercomputer.
I know. Give me a one. Boom, and then I go here, and then I go there, and then I do this, and then I go images, and then I go tools.
Then
and
all
then
this can be cut out.
You love all
Was
this.
Bolt? It was Bolt from the dog movie. Was he a runner?
This was fake, though, wasn't it?
It was fake. He was He was an actor dog.
Oh, right.
But in the like
Basically.
that was one of his powers, though, right?
I think so.
It was
All
his
right.
bark. And, yeah.
He could run fast, but yes, it was a fake thing.
Because all the other ones we're talking about, they're totally real.
Yeah. Of course. I mean, they're not fictional hedgehogs at all.
Right.
All right, so
my running thing for this episode. The name of this episode is Ronic the Hedge Hog.
Ronic the Hedge Hog.
It's our Korean knockoff.
All right, so I picked Whizzer from the Squadron Supreme. He is basically your typical Flash knockoff for Marvel. I like him because he was really fast.
Just being on the Squadron Supreme bumps him up a few notches.
He survived the end of the Squadron Supreme comic book. How's that?
I feel like
half of that team died. He survived.
I feel like if we didn't have the Squadron Supreme back in the 80s, we would not have any good Justice League fucking stories in the 90s. Is that like Squadron Supreme is fucking awesome.
Yeah, the 12-issue series.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah, no, it's an incredible. I actually, it's one that I reread, maybe every few years I'll pick it up and I have the graphic novel and I'll just reread it again. He's really good. He's basically Barry Allen. I mean, he's a family man. He's fast. I don't know exactly how fast he is. He might be, I don't think he's as fast as like a Wally, but he might be as fast as, I don't know. Who do you think, Grant? You want to throw it?
I always thought he was depicted as faster than, like, say, Quicksilver.
I was about to say faster than Quicksilver. But I don't know if Marvel ever had a speedster as fast as the Flash. Any of the Flash. Right?
No, I don't think so. Yeah. Well, that's funny you mentioned that because our next one is
Quicksilver.
Which, who picked this? Brian.
Yeah.
Why'd you pick this incestuous sibling?
Oh, because of that.
Of
no.
course.
Well, I don't know. He's probably the most iconic Marvel speedster.
Sadly,
do you feel like they did him dirty in the movies? Do you feel like in Age of Ultron they did him dirty? I
thought he was the best part of.
He was the best.
Oh, and the Marvel Avengers one, he was crap in that.
Yeah.
But shockingly, in the is it Fox? The Fox X-Men ones, he's the only good part of those movies. Like the way they did that character was amazing.
Their depiction of him as a fastie was better than any Flash or any other cinematic or TV speedster that I've ever seen. I fucking loved him in that.
I feel like the one though, if you were really doing exactly the way they filmed it, let's just take that scene where he rescues the guy from the hospital room or whatever. I can't remember. It's the first appearance of him in the movies. Mm-hmm. They do the stop time, right? And then he's going through moving things around. Yeah. If that was real time, if we were just watching that and not in the slow down version, he'd be fucking moving as fast as any character ever, really, right?
That's a Flash level. That's
Yeah.
like Flash level right there.
Yeah,
like I just
that is
don't
Flash.
know exactly how slowed down things get for Quicksilver in like the comic book or whatever.
The
But
comic continuity. Yeah.
I like the way it looked. I did definitely like the way it looked, but as I thought about it, I'm like, damn, he really is kind of moving like at really, really fast
Yes.
speeds.
They basically made him the most powerful. at
Yeah.
that
And it's
point.
so funny because in the movies they do it once and then they never use him again. Like in each movie they did one really good scene with him, and then he
Mhm.
basically like kind of disappears from the.
It's because he's too fucking powerful. Like
Right.
they show you how powerful he is, and then they're like, never again are you going to see this character do anything because he could just explode everyone with a pinky. He could just run there and jab you, and you'd be dead.
This is my one good thing about Justice League is the depiction of Flash running near Superman and Superman clocking him and
Yes.
stopping him, and Flash realizing that Superman is clocking him. That's one of those like the best fasty type moments on anything really in any movie or TV. I thought.
I'll tell you, that is the worst depiction of the Flash ever. By the way,
I don't know. I mean, I'm not super against it, but I get what you're saying.
just watch that dude run. Watch that dude run on film or in real life. It's like the dude can't even run. It's the weirdest thing to watch. It's fucking
I
strange.
love this as your complaint, is that
Yeah,
the guy
but that,
has no
He's got
running
one fucking
form.
job. He's got one job, and it's to run, John. And if you can't fucking run convincingly, what are you fucking doing with your career, Flash? Jesus.
But I agree with John. That particular scene is very good.
Yes.
Considering that movie, that particular scene was like probably the best thing out of that whole movie. It was when that happens, you're like, oh yes,
Like Superman.
yes, that's what I
is
want.
that
That's
fa-
what I
yeah,
want to see.
Yeah,
Like,
Superman is that fast.
yes, yeah.
Another really good Quicksilver moment was in the comics. I think it was it X Factor with Quesada, and
Yes,
Quicksilver's
X-Factor.
he's talking to a shrink, and he's basically telling him why he's such a dick.
Yeah.
And it's because he's so frustrated because everywhere he goes in his normal life, everything is moving at a crawling
Yeah.
pace. And I thought that was brilliant when they
Yeah.
That's a good
that
way
down.
to do it.
Yeah, was that like an X Factor issue? That was
Yeah, I think that was X Factor.
It was
If
like
it was
Peter David.
Quesada, yeah.
yeah, it's Peter David and Joe Quesada's run on X Factor, which is fucking fantastic.
Yeah, that was that's an interesting thing, and like that shows that he kind of has more of a dilemma than other characters, because it's almost like he can't turn it off like other characters can. Like he's constantly at this speed, and he's forcing himself to not just slow down, but kind of deal with it. But his mind can't stop; like it's constantly going. So it's really interesting because that's a dynamic you don't see in any other speedster.
And
Has there been,
he's constantly thinking about incest too, and that's
Yeah.
gotta be rough.
I mean, idle minds, baby. Idle hands. Devil's work, baby. Has there been an iconic Silver story? Like something that you're like, I mean, I like the Ultimates, and I like that, just because it's such a dope story, but it's not like that's a Quicksilver story. Has there ever been something where they were like, there it
He's
is?
had a miniseries, correct?
I believe he has had something like that.
I don't remember reading it though. He's always been more of a background character, like a major supporting. I mean, Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. He ends up marrying Crystal. They have a kid. So he has that whole Inhumans connection, and then they divorced clearly because then Ronan married Crystal, right? So they got divorced at some
Didn't,
point.
like Johnny date Crystal also? Like Johnny hooked up with her, right, too.
Speaking of fast women,
Quicksilver, they did have him and Flash raced in the JLA Avengers by George Perez. And
no context.
it's no comment.
well, Flash, Quicksilver in the beginning kind of knocked him off his game a little bit, kind of came in, bip, bap, bip, like kind of knocked him out a little bit. But then the Flash ultimately ends up like winning in that battle. And I think that was, at that time, I think it was Wally West was the Flash at that time during that run. All right, our next one, speaking of Wally, comes to us from the Dewonki, and it is the Zen Master of Speed.
Yeah, man, I
Expert,
love this
you're
guy
right.
so much, man.
I do not like this character. So
What the-
tell me
He was
on Max.
also Quicksilver, wasn't he?
Yes, he was also known as Quicksilver.
Yep. Yeah. So the idea is this character was like a original Golden Age character, and
1940.
yeah.
It says.
So he disappears for a long ass time. Then they bring him into the DC universe I think when Quicksilver becomes public domain, and then they're able to use him. They bring him.
Did he predate Jay Garrick?
Yes.
Yeah.
He was actually in he was one of those like Dave said, he was one of those national comics. So before anything even really became he was not a Charlton character, but one of those kind of things.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It says here, Max.
It was Quality Comics back in. Let's see.
No, it's not. It says first appearance as Quicksilver, National Comics
National
number
Comics
5.
number 5. Yeah, but Quality Comics is a publisher, and in November 1940.
Max's other identities include Lightning, Blue Streak, Whip Whirlwind, Thunder, Pace, and Quicksilver.
Yeah. So the idea behind this character, he came back. He was reintroduced in the Mark Waid run when the return of Barry Allen happened, and they needed to take down the evil Barry Allen. No spoilers from something that came out 1989, but they brought this character into it, and they basically had to convince him to step out of retirement to come back. And it turns out that he knew about the Speed Force before anyone, and all speedsters in the DC universe are inherently pulled into the Speed Force, or at least they feel the tug to be reunited with the Speed Force, and then the Force is kind of given to other people after you're absorbed into it. And so his entire career, he's known about it, and he's been trying to get into the Speed Force. And every time he gets close to merging with it, it bounces him out and kicks him out, and he gets thrown into different timelines. So he's been bouncing around since the 40s, and he's been, I don't even know if he's a character now, but I think he actually went into the Speed Force in Infinite Crisis to get Superboy Prime out of the universe, because that character was just a huge threat that they needed to get rid of him. So Max Mercury takes him into the Speed Force. But he was a mentor to Wally, and that's what I loved about him. He was just this guy that fucking knew everything. And then he was Impulse's guidance counselor after that, which I love that series just because I love Humberto Ramos. Storylines were fun. I mean, you can see this drawing of him, man. Just fucking awesome. So great. Why do you hate him, John?
What'd you say?
Why do you hate him?
I think it's because at the time, you had Flash, and you had Jay Garrick, and you had Impulse, and you had Jesse Quick, and Johnny Quick, and then it was Max Mercury comes along, and it's oh, okay, another old speedster. I was as a Jay Garrick guy, I was why exactly do we need another old version of this thing? So it wasn't I don't want to read anything with Max Mercury in it, but in terms of that whole group of that was coming out around then, he was the weakest of the bunch. I thought I just wasn't that into his storylines as much.
Yeah. I mean, I could see that. At that time, there were way too many speedsters, and then you couple that with the fact that maybe 2 years before that, you had Speed McGee, and you had the Russians, and it's just kind of wow, there's a lot of fucking people running really fast in the DC universe. So I could see you would say that, but I just really liked his backstory and the fact that it was tied to this new Speed Force thing, which was.
What do you think about What do you think about that costume?
I like his costume. I mean, it's weird. It doesn't make that much sense, and it's completely dated in a weird way. But I think that's just by design. I liked him.
He is our number 3. Do you think that's correct, Dave?
I need to see 2 and 1.
Okay.
But
2
and 1. 2 and 1, Brian. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Oh, okay.
Jesus.
He needs to put 2 into 1, Brian, is what he's saying. Okay, God. To get your mind out of the gutter. Okay, so for our final 2, it comes down to this. We have number 2, Makari.
So Makari is arguably the fastest fastie in Marvel, as far as a run.
This is my hardcore research.
Yes,
I found out that he is technically. There's one other character that's as fast as him in Marvel.
Who?
And that's no lie. I love this guy. His name is the Runner. You know the runner, right? He's like gold, I think is what he looks. He's like a gold character, right? And he's one of those like either a champion or an elder of the universe. He's one of those guys, right?
I think he's an elder.
So it's like that. I think Makari and him had a race, and it was like I think that the runner beat him. I don't know, but that's the only other guy that's as fast as Makari.
So what
is an Eternal?
Yes.
Yeah. I've always liked his costume, his outfit. It's so Kirby-esque. And in the Neil Gaiman, John Romita Jr. series from 2006, that was one of the first times I'd ever seen a speedster where they depicted him as he was saving some people that were being shot at, and they basically did the whole stop time thing, and it was very similar to how they do Quicksilver in the Fox movies. He did that in the comic book, but it was way back then. I don't know of any other time that a comic book's done that, and I was like, whoa, that's a fucking cool ass way to show a speedster. Do you guys remember that series at all?
No,
I know what series that is, but I never read it.
I was never an Eternals fan, so I like am playing catch up on that shit.
It was really good.
I was always, for some reason, like, and this sounds like super fucking blasphemy, but I was always turned off by like Jack Kirby's 70s and 80s stuff. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was just so fucking out there that I was like, it's going to be inaccessible for me, But
yeah, there's definitely stuff that I hate about those old Kirby things, but then there's stuff that I really like. So it's kind of
what I really like about that shit? Kirby's art. I just don't know if I love Kirby's writing and ideas. I love the imagery, but yeah, some of it's a bit of a slog.
Yeah, he really liked to mix sci-fi like technology with mythos. So he would mix up like Greek mythology with fucking technology and weird shit, and that's how the Eternals were portrayed. And it gets really convoluted, but there's been a lot of retconning, and they've cleaned it up a bit to where it's a little more palatable.
You'll be happy to know that Makari is going to be in the movies, but it's a woman.
That's all right.
I have a fast women. It's fine.
Yep.
We like that.
We like fast women.
Yeah.
So I had
Grant likes Grant. If I was to rewrite Grant's fucking trading card, it would be like Grant likes fast cars and fast women, and also cores. Question.
All right, so we are down to our final. The Makari was, he's fast. He's an Eternal. Okay,
right.
That's like that's almost God level like style stuff right there, right? So I mean, the fastest has to be something that like is almost like the speed. It's really truly the fastest thing ever, because I mean, how can you get faster than Makari? And that comes down to the Roadrunner.
I 100% agree with this one.
Wait, did you say you 100% agree or disagree?
Agree.
Oh, I 100% disagree with this.
No,
Ron,
you're wrong.
Ron, tell me why.
Break down the science of the Roadrunner.
Okay, so for some of us, this was our first foray into the speedster
Fasties
genre, right?
Yeah.
You have the Roadrunner. So I've been watching some of these cartoons with my two assistants to see the speed of the Roadrunner, and it starts out simple. He can outrun rockets. He can outrun the Coyote at top speed. Coyote starts buying things from Acme, like lightning bolts, which he outruns. He's able to run through mountains using Speed Force type stuff for that.
And the Roadrunner in the Speed Force? Oh my god!
Yeah.
I think he is the Speed Force.
Speed Force, yeah. Maybe it's the Looney Tunes Speed Force instead
Can't he make winding road straight because he's so fast?
Yes.
How crazy would it be if fucking because DC owns Warner Brothers. Wait, Warner Brothers DC. If they fucking if Barry Allen runs into the Speed Force and sees the fucking Roadrunner,
He should. He should.
On YouTube,
we know that like can the Roadrunner defy gravity? Can he run?
He
Essentially.
He runs that. There's places where bridges have gone out, and the Roadrunner just keeps running straight over it to the other side.
And then the coyote gets over it, and then he comes and hands him a book about gravity, and then he figures out that he reads about gravity and then falls
right down. Yep.
Classic joke.
Here's the thing that for me, I don't like speedsters when they do the family circle where you can see their trail of where they're going. To me, that like almost slows them down in a sense. But when you've got a character like the Roadrunner that essentially almost teleports because 1 minute it's there and the next it's just not there anymore, I fucking love that. That's my favorite kind of like speed. And so the Roadrunner is the best.
What kind of fucking bird? What kind of bird is the Roadrunner supposed to be?
A Roadrunner. A Roadrunner.
Is that actually like?
It's a real bird.
It's a real bird.
Oh, all right.
And they run at about 20 miles an hour.
Jesus, Dave.
Okay.
I swear. Are you blonde? Are you fucking blonde? Like,
well, I shaved my head, bro.
Oh my God.
I have a theory that Roadrunner's power is he runs relative to whatever's running after him, and he can always best it by that 20 miles an hour. So you're never going to be able to catch him, and he's always going to be able to outrun you just by a touch. Unless he gets really pissed off, because there's times where he's letting you keep in speed with him, and then he does this little beep, beep, and then that's it. Yeah. You're gone, no matter who it is.
I just Googled a picture of an actual Roadrunner.
That's what I was doing.
They're pretty fucking dope looking, actually. They
are.
A Roadrunner.
What is that that speed that uses the Roadrunner as a symbol also, Grant? It's the red
car.
One.
Well, Mopars, they have a car. Like, there's a car called a Roadrunner.
Yeah, and he's got like a cigar in him. No, is that what I'm thinking of?
You're thinking of Thrust, which is a parts company, and that's actually Woody Woodpecker with a cigar.
Oh, okay. Woodpecker, Roadrunner,
Yeah.
Well, on YouTube, there's actually a video of the Roadrunner, Speedy Gonzalez, and Flash having a race.
What kind of devil trickery is this?
Because they all are Warner Brothers characters, so they did a little Cartoon Network fun.
Can you share that in a link below for our viewers? That would be awesome.
Yes, we can add that to the.
Yeah, we'll add it to it. Yeah. That'd be great.
So that was our list of our top 10 fasties in the Geek Savants universe. The top 10 fasties.
I would like to honorably mention Fastback.
Fastback is amazing.
None of us picked him. I probably should have picked him, but I didn't, and I'm sorry.
I literally thought that when we were going to number one that you were going to slip that fucker in for sure.
I had to go with Ron's because he broke it down scientifically for us, so that was why.
I mean, there was a bunch of long Ron diatribes in our text, peppered with multiple pictures of Grant's fucking Kingdom Flash, and I was like, I'm out.
There was one that Grant was really fascinated with. What was it, Cartoon Speed or something? What was that thing you were all hot? You said you want to make a role-playing thing or something with like cartoon.
Grant is always about role-playing.
Everything becomes a role-playing game with Grant. I swear, anything you talk about was like, oh, today, my grandma died of cancer. Grant's like, oh, I don't know. Let's turn that into a role-playing game.
Jesus Christ.
I'll be your dungeon master for that one.
Cancer master.
Oh.
If you don't roll a 20, they didn't get it all.
All right, guys. This sucks. This was the worst episode of all time.
Did we also forget to mention Ron Hedgehog? Remember?
What?
Ron Sonic Hedgehog Jeremy, the porn star.
Is that because he's a head? No, I don't think he moves fast though.
Sonic and him are related somehow.
Don't worry. I'll do something special for the episode art because I'm the graphic designer of the show.
The art director. You're the art director. Not the graphic designer, the art director.
Sorry, art director.
Yeah, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye everybody.